Good afternoon, and welcome. It's 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. Good afternoon. Who likes Sundays? It's a day before you kind of like start another day, isn't it? Really, it's start another week. Sorry, where you kind of like, you get have a recovery over the weekend. Then Sunday you think, oh no. Then you're busy getting ready for Monday. So really, it's not a day off anyway. Anyway, good afternoon. I am here. Don't forget, I've got two shows, no, three shows today. I've got this one at 2 o'clock with Robbie Ainsley, and one at 2:30 with Sean Vanderloo, or if we can call him Vanderloo. I think it's Vanderloo, but I'm not really sure at this moment in time. Um, I'm on here because I want to talk about something that's close to my heart, and that is myself. Yeah, some of us, we go around kind of like not talking about ourselves and what we've done in the past and what we can do about changing our past. A long time ago, I kind of like when I was a child, I was brought up on the Barbican in Plymouth, and if you some of you may not know the Barbican. The Barbican is a well-known place where people were, you know, it was well known in history. The Pilgrim Fathers and all the fishing boats used to come in. Anyway, my dad and my mum used to work at this fish factory, and I was brought up. I was around about five. I can't remember what how old was I when I used to go up there. I think I was around about five, and I used to go around there. And some of you might have heard the story before. And you know, it was really tough. It was really tough because I used to live in my nan's house, and it used to be around about seven in the house, and in those days it was like you got to share a bed with you. You'd share a bed around about six of you in a bed, and anyway, so we kind of had a fish shop up the top. So what happened was upstairs was all the ladies and the men, and they were sorting all the seafood out and all the fish out, and it was coming down a chute, and they were kind of like doing all the fish and everything. And down the bottom in the fish shop, they used to sell fish, seafood, etc. And to open this, I actually had a pet crab called Percy, and I used to take Percy for a walk, and used to take him for a walk, and Bookwell Street was the main street going down towards the Barbican. Don't forget, they used to have the fair down there in Plymouth. They used to have everything going down there, and all the coach trips going down. So anyway, one day I was going across the road with Percy the crab. Don't forget crabs don't walk like us. They slow, didn't they? So what happens is this crab was walking sideways. So slow it was, so slow. Anyway, well they did go slow, not like us. And anyway, a bus came, and yeah, it ran over Percy, and I managed to run across the road to be safe. So what happened was I picked Percy up, um, and I buried it in my mum's garden. And my dad said, "Oh, never mind, never mind. We'll get you a cat." called Tash because it used to have a moustache. This is not made up. This is true fact. And what happened was one day we had this cat and we took it. We put it in the house. And one day we let it out and it was doing everything else. And we felt something smelling in the house, you know, it's like a fishy smell, Some people, I remember my brother saying one day, start farting, speaking to cat, and he was saying start farting. But anyway, we found this fishbone claw, the claws of the crab. We found this beyond a settee or something, and it was smelling. And what happened was the cat dug up the back garden where I buried this crab to, and it took it in to the house, and it smelled. But I want to tell you about that because that was one particular point in my life about you know trying to kind of like getting over something in my life that was very important to me. Even though you might be laughing now about this crab, but at the end of the day, when I was younger, that crab was my friend. Okay, it was my friend. Even though it can't talk to me, nor I can't talk to him, he was still my friend. He was still my companion. And when I was going on in life, life seemed to me was like I was growing, kind of like getting older, growing older, and being in a kind of like a fishing industry kind of environment. I used to go down on the Barbican early hours in the morning, and I used to get ready for school, go to primary school, and people used to calling me, oh, fishy, because I kind of like used to smell a fish and etc. and etc. And it was horrible. It was just an horrible thing. It was just kind of like really terrible. And so I was going through like being teased, getting people were kind of like having to go at me. And fortunately, I had my first fight when I was at primary school. Um, and it people people were basically horrible. And when I got over my kind of like part of my life, I kind of trying to sort myself out. Basically, we moved to another part of Plymouth, and I went to a school called Barnbarton. And when I was at Barnbarton Primary School, um, my faith and everything else got kind of grown because I came to know God. I kind of like my faith was in God, and I kind of went to church. I was in the choir, and I got to know different things about my faith. And even though even though that there's not a perfect Christian out there, people say, "Oh, you're not perfect." Sometimes I could hear you say things, and yes, we do. And but as long as we kind of like come to God and ask God for forgiveness, then I think that we're okay. But I don't want to preach to you about that. But all what I'm trying to say is, as I was going through school and everything, I was known as the Bible basher. People were saying to me, "Oh yeah, you're the Bible basher," and they were calling me names and everything. My wife used to call me a name, called me names when I was at school, believe it or not, Michelle. And she used to say to me, "Hey, Bible basher," or what was the other name she used to say, Joe? It was at the school reunion, dinner times or something. She used to say something, and it was, I don't know, Bible club or something. I can't remember what it was called. They all she my see the trouble is when Michelle used to come to my Bible classes, the only time she went to the Bible classes. One was either if it was we were watching something on TV, which is like a Christian program, or if it was raining outside and she wanted to, she didn't want to go outside, so she came in. I remember those times when Michelle. Don't forget, Michelle wasn't my wife by then, but she used to come in because to keep in the warmth because she didn't want to be outside with her friends. So what she used to do was she used to come in with all her friends, see, and so that's what used to happen. But anyway, as I went up through school, I was teased and bullied, and then in my last couple of years, I started running a school reunion and a Christian school reunion. And then that was it. And then I left school, and everything. But then, to a point in my life when I first got married and lost my first wife, I tried committing suicide, and that was a point in my life where people say, you know, why do you want to end your life? When you're around about 20 odd. Do you know when you kind of like you meet your girlfriend, right? You got your girlfriend, right? You meet them for the first time, your first ever girlfriend in your life, and all of a sudden you come close together, and next minute the it ends. That closeness in the beginning. You think, oh, I remember, I remember if my former wife was here now, she'll tell you. I used to kind of like stalk her. So I used to like walk her home, right? And I used to kind of like sit outside her house for a little while and just thinking about her. And that's what you do, isn't it? When you're in love, you don't stalk them, but you kind of like you're falling for them. Anyway, she died, and in a car accident, and life seemed to be for me not fair. Um, and that was really bad to me. So then went to a psychiatric unit called Moorfields. Tried to sort myself out, came out. A couple of years after that, I was got married, and some marriages that I've been married about 5 times, 6 times, and in my life, I think it was people said to me, "Why were you married for six times? Why did you get married for 6 times?" And that people left me, there was some of my wives. I remember one particular time when I got married, one wife didn't even kind of like, I had one wife who decided to go back to her mum's after a month. It was not because we'd done anything wrong. It was because I think she got married at a younger age and she just didn't want to be out in the open world, say. So anyway, so we kind of like carried on. Then I met somebody else, and then my best friend, went off with my wife there, and people said, "Oh yeah, but he's done a favour to you and all this lot." I had children from her, and um, then I got married again. Something happened there, and now I'm married to Michelle. I've been married now about 7 years now, but I've known Michelle for a long time because we were at school together. And when you're at school together, you think, "Oh yeah, I like her. I really, like her." But the trouble is, it was funny because Michelle was kind of like with my best friend. Okay, he was my best friend, and I was with Michelle's best friend. If you get the thing. So so anyway, so yeah, we got married, and that was okay. Then I went through a bad time with depression. Things were happening in our relationship, which we don't like talking about very much. And I went through a bit of a bad time. I went to Tamar Bridge, went to jump off the bridge. Not because what Michelle did, it's because what I did. So I just want to make that clear. Um, so yeah, so I went to the bridge, and when you really want to commit suicide, and you put your leg over one side of the bridge, right? You're thinking to yourself, that's it. All you think about when you're on the end of that bridge, that's it. You want your life to end. You don't want anything else. But then something came to me. You think some of you probably think, oh yeah, he's mental, he's not with it, he's psychiatric or whatever. I don't mind. Let's be open now. But I felt that I had a voice come to me, right? And it was a voice saying, I love you, too early, I love you, I want you to stay, I've got plans for you. And so what happened to me was that luckily two people came along, helped me off the bridge because Michelle actually called the police on me. And when she called the police on me, they arrested me under the Mental Health Act. They arrested me, took me to the cell, and everything else like that. Um, and mental health really is a bad thing for some people because people who have been through mental health can be easily stigmatized. Do you understand? People just look at you and think, oh, yeah, he's a bit doolally and he's off his rocker and everything. But at the end of the day, anyone, anyone can have mental health problems. Anyone. And when I was taken to a psychiatric unit, I was in there with other people in the psychiatric unit, and I was in that psychiatric unit with, like, say, around about 20 other people. 20 other people I was in there with. And all I wanted to do in that psychiatric unit was to fill my time up and pass the time away. So can you imagine that they take the shoes away? No, sorry, not the shoes, shoelaces away, because I was threatening to hang myself and all that sort. The next minute, it was like other things were going on, and people saying to me, "Oh yeah, you're a Christian. You're supposed to be a Christian. Where is your God and all this lot? Why don't God help you and everything?" And this was going on for a while I was in there. People were saying that to me. Then when I remember Michelle came up one time, a couple of times actually, trying to visit me, and I was so really ill. I was really so ill. I kind of like told Michelle just to go away. I don't want nothing to do with her. I was accusing her for various things like having affairs and things like that. And it was a point in my life where I was not myself. And sometimes with mental health, we can kind of, when we do suffer with mental health, it's like being another person. And when you are another person, sometimes you can be so evil. It's unbelievable. And I've heard Michelle. I did that, and when I was in there again, I heard this voice coming to me and saying, "I love you, I love you, I love you." That's all I kept on going. I love you, I love you, I love you. Don't give up. Don't give up. I'm here. I'm here. Just open up to me. And I was thinking to myself, am I going strange or anything? But it was true. And there and then I had to turn my life around and say, okay, whatever you are doing, you know, I do believe in you. I do have faith in you. So the story about why I want to come on here today was, it's not about preaching to you or doing anything to you. It's because people out there in the past just judge me for things that I've done in the past, right? Well, they can do that. They can do that. All that business about two-factor work business and um, all that TV rubbish in the past. TV to me, that's gone. I'm not really concerned about that no more. What I am concerned about is my family, my friends, and just open other people, and that's why I set this up. Sometimes I must admit I felt like giving up on this. There's times where I said to Michelle, forget it. And she said, oh, you lost interest in it, didn't you? You lost. If it wasn't because of Michelle telling me that I've lost interest in it, right? I just would have. Do you think I would have gave up by now, sure? Yeah, I would have, wouldn't I? Michelle knows me more than I know myself. And it's true, and since I started doing this last year, I found that I've been helping people. So when I come on here, I'm not making anything from it. Oh yeah, people sponsor me to help me to run it. But at the end of the day, I don't keep it, the money's not myself. I've got to pay for things. And I'm helping people. And that's what I want to do. I just want to continue helping people. So if people out there who want to judge me for things, you carry on because I don't care. At the end of the day, I'm not really worried. All I can say is this: that all I can say is this: that my faith in God, it's my faith. I don't go preaching it about on here. I don't go doing nothing. That's me. If you want to hear about it, I will tell you about it. But in the meantime, just let me get on with what I love doing, and by helping people. I get people on here. I like to talk to them. I like to interview them. I catch up with them. You know, I ask them to come back because I find them interesting. I get other people on here. I love it. I love it. All I'm trying to say is now is this: mental illness is not a disease. We can all get it. I've spoken to so many people about people saying that person's a bit nuts, that person's a bit crazy, off his rocker. Just stop it. Do you know how you can help people? People say to me, "Oh, how can I help people?" Tell what you can do. You can lobby the government, okay? Contact the government. Don't do what I do. Go on Twitter and get chucked off about every 2 days. I think so. So my wife says to me, "Oh yeah, well you've been chucked off Twitter again," and I said, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." But I do it in a proper way, in a decent way. Um, and also I lobby the government, and kind of like encourage other people, help people who've been through mental health, mental illness. Come by them and give them my arm and say, "Look, everything's going to be all right. I'll help you through this." Instead of judging people and putting them down, let's kind of like start let's start talking to people and giving them encouragement and bringing them back up again. Anyway, no more chat from me because I've got to go. But in the meantime, thank you very much and see you again. Thank you very much for all listening. I'll be back in 5 minutes with the wonderful Bobby Ainsley. Bye for now. Half hour at 2 o'clock. What I do want to do, because I've got 5 minutes left, is this. I want to thank everybody out there who's helped me so far. He's really helped me. He's kind of like shared my pages, shared everything. And if you can share this video and all my other videos and my pages, I'd be so grateful. We're not getting no money from it. We're not doing nothing like that. We just want to help people. And if people want to come on my radio and my podcast, you're welcome. Whatever you want to talk about, we're here. Mental health, religion, church, anything you're going through, any problems, we're here. All you got to do is just kind of like approach us and say, Steve, I need help. And if I can't help you, we will find people who can. Good night. Good night. Good day. See you later. Bye bye.